Hello, everyone,
Whoa!
and welcome back to a special episode of Watersurf Chats with. Today we are joined with the one, the only Gage Agnew.
Hey, thank you for having me here.
So we'll go ahead and start with the softball question. What's your social security number? Just kidding, just kidding.
Man, God, that was an easy one. Why'd you blow past it that fast? All right.
We'll go ahead and start with
Three,
the.
not okay. All right.
We'll go ahead and start with the actual good questions. And what the heck do you do on your channel? For those of you that don't
Oh,
know.
well, hello there, Watersurf's audience. My name is Gage Agnew. I do video essays. I do interviews with fellow content creators, and I like to do comedy skits from now and I like to do comedy skits every now and then. And I also enjoy ranting at the camera sometimes. I'm trying to experiment with some new stuff. I understand that my channel has been dormant for a little bit, but that will change very soon.
You know, there's nothing wrong with taking a break because we get busy with life stuff, and I've taken many breaks on my channel as well. So there's nothing wrong with that, and that goes to you guys lurking out there too. There's nothing wrong with taking a break. It's all good.
The thing is, it's not really a break. I've been kind of constantly working at
Stockpiling,
these
as they
new
say.
videos. No,
No,
it's
just
just one
one,
video.
just one video. Oh, there's
Just one
nothing wrong with
video that
that.
it's taken me a long time. But you
That's
know
still a
what? I think people
stockpile.
will be I think people will be pretty happy when it comes out. Watch out
If
for
it
that. That's
if
my
it's
little
not a if it's
teaser.
not a 6 hour video essay on the on why Kermit's arm doesn't actually work or something like that, then I don't want to watch it. Because there's a guy controlling the
Well,
puppet.
it's pretty close. No. Kermit's an independent frog who needs no puppeteer.
You're right. You're right. I don't know. I'm making bad jokes already. We'll go ahead and move on to the big question that myself, your audience, my audience, are probably having is you have a few series on your channel. Most notably, one of them is Gauge Your Interest, pun on your own name. I see that. Um, and then you said you also have where you chalk with other creators. But we'll go ahead and start with Gauge Your Interest. What is that? What is that series all about?
Gauge Your Interest started off as a way for me to rant about aspects in media that I did not think had the appropriate attention. Earlier episodes were like movie trailers and the history on that, and concession stands, and cameos, which I know people love cameos nowadays, but back in the day it was not as notable. But then I just started expanding to just stuff that generally interests me and that I can yap about for a long time. So, really, what was the question?
Just what's your video? So it's a video essay series. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a video essay series.
and you kind of just talk about whatever the heck's interesting you right now. That's kind of how my video essay series is as well. Because sometimes I'm like, I feel like talking about like my last one was about AI psychosis, YouTube, and you, and then the one before that was just me checking in with my viewers. And then I can kind of see that you kind of do the same thing. Like your most recent one was limitations, and then you had the Fraggle Rock one. Then you had
Yeah.
crowdfunding. I'm looking at your channel right now. I don't have this memorized.
I was impressed for a second, but that is also a well prepared thing to do. So I am impressed in a different way, though.
So here's a good question. Out of all the Gauge Your Interest that you've done, which one do you think is your personal favorite? You're like, this one is my magnum opus, aside from the one that you're working on currently.
Yes, the one that I'm working on currently, I'm like, if people don't like this, I got to retire. I got to move to the mountains. I got to start my own farm, just isolate myself from society. But the answer, I think you're wanting to know my favorite but also you want to know my best one. And for me, those are two separate things.
That's fine.
Am I right on this?
Yeah, both work with me. Like, cause there's some videos that are my personal favorites. So I'm like, I like this one, but the audience didn't. And then there's the ones that are like the audience loved this one, but I'm like, eh. So I get it as a fellow creator.
I think my best one currently is my Fraggle Rock one because we had like a whole thing for that. We had guests. We had a new outfit for the puppet. We had a great time on set. I had a fun time writing it. Did I wrote my own lyrics for an existing Fraggle Rock song, I Knew I Was Good, which was originally sang by Gobo Fraggle. In the reboot series, it was sang by Red Fraggle. And in my video, it was sung by me. So I think a lot of correct ingredients were in that video. So if I had to recommend a video to a newcomer to my channel, I would say start with puppets, and then kind of the spiritual successor to it is Fraggle Rock, and I think that one's better. As far as my favorite one, it actually might surprise some people. It is Retcons. Retcons. This was a video that I did with my buddy Kale Anonymous, and have you seen this video?
Yeah, that was actually the first video I watched of yours.
Oh, all right. All right. You're familiar. But it actually came right after I did the Resident Evil video. And the Resident Evil video was like a new chapter for my channel because I had a huge set. I had costumes. I had cast members. I had a crew that day. I had to make sure everyone was fed and happy. So it was such a big thing. And I'm like, okay, well, going into the next one, I need a smaller scale, but I would still like to have like a bit of a crew, a bit of a cast, and I would like to have fun with it. And I think I accomplished that with Retcons. And I believe that one is something that every Gage Your Interest should strive for, which is to be informative, funny, and have a couple of skits in there.
You know, that's one of the things that I appreciate about your channel and just your vibe in general is I know we kind of make different videos, but you're still staying true to the skits and sketches in your videos. And I know some people don't like them, but I'm like, I like them, and that's what's important to me, you know?
Yeah, I have. Initially, I was kind of against skits in the Gage Your Interests because I thought they were like hokey, and I thought they were they just took away from like the history side of it. But the truth is, I'm a little hokey, I'm a little corny, and I like making people laugh. Laughs. I like making people laughs. So I started doing them. My friend Vinny, who is no longer in the state that I'm currently in, has helped me pretty much since the second or third one. I think he's a really talented actor, by the way. He always... people might give me crap for this, but he always reminds me of Philip Seymour Hoffman, kind of. He just goes in with 100% of whatever I give him, and I think he builds on the writing that I give him. So for me, he's a really important part of that series because he's important to the sketches and stuff. And I think when I initially started sketches was it the Beautiful Joe one? Maybe it was the Beautiful Joe one where... No, it was the video rental store. I apologize. It was the video rental store one where I had a bunch of DVDs and like Nintendo 64 games, and I had Vinny come up and be like, "What are you doing?" And that was the first kind of entrance. that was the first introduction to Vinny as a character. And I love Vinny as a character. I love the actor even more. So I just kept going with him, and it's a good excuse to keep in contact with him because he's married right now and he has a job in Florida. Really proud of him. And yeah, no, I still hope to make funny skits with him in the future, whether it be on Gauge Your Interest or elsewhere. This kind of turned into like an I Love Vinny fest, but it's true. I love the guy.
That's all
What
right.
can I say?
If you wanna talk about your best friend, then that's what this show's for, man.
I wouldn't say best friend. I would say friend.
A good friend.
No, he's a good friend. Good friend. There we go. Happy medium.
I guess we'll also go a little bit further into the Gauge Your Interest series. What's like the creative process with that? Like, when do you decide that? Is it just like a hyper specific niche like interest that you're focused on right now, or is it something that you kind of like have like a list of videos that you want to do? Like, maybe my next video will be on the hit movie Ants from DreamWorks, just as an example.
Yeah, good one. Good one. With Woody Allen and Sylvester Stallone. Yeah, no, I just have a list of ideas that I've written down through the years. It's just an app on my phone, notes app. I'm like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I did like circumnavigation in movies and cinema? And whenever I finish with a topic, whether it be like a video game or a movie, I try to do something a little different. Like if I'm doing a television show in one, I'm like, okay, next one I want to do a video game, or next one I want to do like a concept, like limitations. So I look at that list and I try to decide from there what topic would best suit the following Gauge Your Interests. Because typically when I do like what I call a smaller scale one, I want to do a bigger scale and then smaller scale and just kind of go in a pattern like that. So I think the process for Gauge Your Interests is have a list, learn as much as possible, do like what I call a vomit draft where I just write everything down, and then I film everything in the appropriate locations. I have two people that help me out with that. Their names are Dan and Alex. Alex I went to college with. Dan I met out here doing podcasts, actually. And he's been an awesome help. So those are like ride or die guys. And you can't... that's something you can't like buy on like Craigslist or anything. That amount of passion and devotion that those two put in. And so I do all that. I film the thing. I edit it for way too long of a time. And I have an artist for a Gauge Your Interest. I typically commission an artist to physically draw a thumbnail. And then I put it out. I advertise it for the day. And I move on. I need to get better at advertising my stuff because I feel like I don't hype myself up enough when it comes to releasing a big video like a Gauge Your Interest.
Yeah, I understand the whole advertising thing, but I want to just ping a note that it's really great to see that you're still collaborating with other creatives, because I know a lot of us, especially myself, we're kind of doing this on our own, and the fact that you still have like a little small group of friends or a team helping you out with these is very impressive.
I mean, for me personally, it's like if you're not putting this out for other people to learn or to be entertained or to have these experiences with, then why make videos? You know, I'm not trying to target just you, but for me, 90% of the fun of making the video is going out with these people, acting, writing the script, making sure we got all the props in place, and having just a good time. Not to turn this into something different, but that's why I'm mainly against AI, is because it takes away that whole process, that zest to make something funny and creative, or tell a story, or invoke an emotion. I think it's why I do it. It's why I do it, is because of the process. It's nice to have a video out and to show people that you have produced something, but the process is the best part for me.
So you like actually making the thing. So yeah, that's a good question though. Sorry. So when you're making the videos, you're saying you like the production process. The pre-production's cool, the post-production's cool, but the actual production itself is probably your favorite, if I'm getting that right.
Um, I do like the writing and the brainstorming. Um, but the production of it is a lot of fun, and I have some very reliable folks, like I mentioned, Dan, Alex, Vinny, that are there to help me out with the whole thing. And yeah, editing gets kind of lonely. It gets a little tedious, as I'm sure you know. So yeah, I would say production currently is my favorite part, but I always thought of myself less as like a director or an actor and more of a writer. So I do really enjoy the writing process of it all.
I'm gonna give you some mad respect because I love writing too. I'm like, if you
Yeah,
can just
man.
let me write for the weekend, I could probably like get like 3 or 4 scripts out.
That's insane. I drag my feet when it comes to writing sometimes. I'm like, "Oh, well, I'll just write it when I get around to it." But really, you got to devote time to it. You got to allot a certain amount of time. Even if you look at like a blank document for an hour, that's your writing time. So it's something you really do have to, just creative endeavors in general. You really have to make time for it.
The hardest part of writing for me is just getting started. Like I could just be like staring at the Word document. I'm like, what? How do I start this thing? And then once I finally get started, then I'm like, I don't want to stop. But then it's like you got
Yeah, start flowing.
responsibilities you got to do. I'm like, but I don't want to do them. I want to keep writing.
That's great that you have that passion for writing. It is tough to come up with something out of thin air, being like, "Hey, I want to talk about Tetris, but I have no idea where to start. Do I start historically? Do I start with my personal experiences?" But that's the fun with making a video. You get to produce a narrative or something entertaining out of thin air. It's really beautiful. It's really no, it's really beautiful. I don't mean to sound cheesy or corny or whatever, but that's why we do it, man. That's why we do it.
Yeah, writing's cool, filming's cool, and editing is cool. But enough talk about that. Let's move on to your other series. You said you do a lot. You do like interviews or podcasts with other people, and I'm looking at your channel and I
Yes.
see some big names here. You got Lyle Rath. You got who else we got here? That I know that I follow. You got Brock Baker. You got a
Love Brock. Love Brock.
you got a handful of people. Some of them I don't recognize, but some of them I do. I'm just like,
That's
people.
okay. I do. I live in Los Angeles, California, and I'm around a lot of creative folks. So, and I'm a very personable guy. I don't know if you got that from the interview, but I'm a very affable individual. So I like to talk to people, especially if I recognize them. I'll be like, "Hey, I like the video that you did on flip flops," and they're like, "You watched the flip flop video?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I had a pair of flip flops once myself." And it goes from there. People like talking about their creative process, and they like talking about themselves. So if you have that in with a person, why not talk to them about it? I don't know. I just like people in general too. I have a hard time disliking people. I should be a little more curated with my friend group, but I'm not.
That's really cool, man. That you're really outgoing and friendly with everyone. And I'm like hella introverted. I'm like, I don't know if you know that, but I'm just like I have a hard time talking with people, starting conversations. But the inner polite me is just like you should at least say hello. Say how are you? You know.
Yeah, for me, being social and being outgoing is a muscle you have to exercise. It's not something where it's like, "Oh, I'm an extrovert. Oh, I'm an introvert. Well, I guess I'm like that forever." It's something you have to build towards and really and really it's a craft. You got to hone it. And sometimes you may surprise yourself. Some people, yes, they can be very, very rude. Some people are impolite. But you know what? They're doing you a favor because if they're impolite to your face at that time when you're just saying hello or you're complimenting them on a video or something, well, you probably don't want to be associated with that individual anyways. You know? So,
You know, I learned
it,
this. The sorry, go ahead.
yeah. Oh, not all I was going to say is like work that muscle, work that social muscle. You got to put yourself in uncomfortable situations sometimes.
You know, I learned this lesson from when I worked at Disneyland is that sometimes when people are being negative towards you, you don't know if they're just having a bad day at that or they're something's bugging them at that moment. And I'm not trying to say that everybody's angry all the time or everybody's happy all the time. Like we all go through different emotions. I understand that there are some people that are just scum of the earth and you can't really fix them. But
Sure.
your average person is if they're upset about something like just leave them alone if you can or try to help them out when if you're able to. Like for example, if someone was
Right.
having a
If you know
bad
the
day,
guy or something.
if someone was having a bad day, I could tell her like, "Hey, I see you're having a bad day. Is there anything I can do to help you out? Like I can go walk you onto this ride if you want. I don't care."
Yeah, it's 90% of the time I find like it has almost nothing to do with you. They're just frustrated about a totally different situation. And if it is about you, try to fix it. If you can't, if you can't assist them in any way, it's fine. There are plenty of fish in the sea. Plenty of people that would love to chat with you.
Unless their name is Paul. F that guy. Am I right, fellow fam squad people? only like only
Yes.
like 5 people are gonna know that joke.
Yeah, there's a running joke in the Discord that we're in that we dislike this guy called Paul. And there is no Paul user in the actual Discord. For me personally, though, I always think of the Paul at the end of the Jimmy Neutron episodes where it's DNA Productions and a chimpanzee looks at the camera and goes, "Hi, I'm Paul," and he has three eyes. So that's Paul in my head. But Paul does not exist.
Unless your name is Paul, then I'm sorry for singling you out, random viewer that's named Paul. You're okay.
Sorry, Paul. We were talking about an abstract Paul, not a physical Paul.
Now let's move on to a real topic. Abstract
Uh
thought.
oh.
What's your opinions? I'm just kidding.
I was never defined abstract, and I've just used it through context clues. That's my big confession. I don't have a solid definition for abstract. And I know what it means, but I can't explain it to you.
You know what I
That's my terrible
realized?
secret. Hmm?
Unrelated, but I haven't asked you the question I was supposed to ask you at the beginning of the podcast is
Uh
how long
oh.
have you been doing this?
I'm trying to think of like when I like the first video that we started. It was almost adults. We started doing podcast initially. It was me and my friend John Claude. Shout out to John Claude. Hope you're doing great. He's a doctor now, so he don't got no time for podcast. I want to say 2016. That sounds right. 2016.
So about 10 years.
About 10 years. About 10 years now. Hate that that's the number associated with it, but that's what it is.
Yeah, you could be 18 years like I am.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. I mean, like when you do it this long, you do it not because of like an abstract goal or something. You do it because you love it, you know?
I
There
don't
I
know
go
about
again,
you.
using
I
abstract.
don't know about you, but I'm trying to get up a billion subscribers before the end of next Tuesday, and if I don't, then I'm quitting. That was my
Uh,
goal.
that's that's a
Just
very
kidding.
reasonable goal. I'm shooting for 1 trillion, but a billion's cute. A billion's nice.
But we'll go ahead and move on to a real topic.
Ooh, yeah,
Here's
you kept
one.
me in the dark air. Yeah.
Here's one that's always interesting. Is future video ideas. You want to give us a little bit of a sneak peek on what you're working on right now, or even stuff beyond that video? Like maybe you want to talk about socks for some reason. I don't know.
Loves. Actually, hold on. This is totally unplanned, by the way.
Oh
But I
no.
got some Spyro socks recently.
Whoa.
Uh, yeah, yeah. I picked them up at like a yard sale or something, and I'm like, oh, these are really cute. So I'm giving them to a producer friend of mine because I think I have too many socks as it is. But yeah, there you go. There's your surprise Spyro cameo.
That's a
But
callback. Remember he said cameos earlier in the episode, and there was a Spyro cameo.
hey, Spyro cameo. I am so excited for his new video game. I think people are over the moon about it, and I'm really happy for them. Anyways, I'm sorry. Did I scream in your ear?
No, you're fine. I was doing like this, like anyways.
Okay. Anyways, um, future video ideas. I won't tell you the next video, unfortunately, but here are some concepts that I have kind of stewing around in my mind. I always wanted to do one on theater etiquette. I think, especially since 2020, theater etiquette has been at an all-time low, and I want to give like some rules and some advice and some unspoken stuff that maybe your mama and papa didn't directly teach you. But I would love to do something on like movie theater etiquette. And another one that you can jump in at any time, by the way. I'm going to name three. So if you have any comments on them, let me know. I would also like, yes, yeah, you in the back.
Just to chime in with theater etiquette real quick. I hate
Please.
movie theater etiquette, man, because I've gotten to the point where I'll go to the 9 a.m. showings just so I don't have to deal with other people, because usually people aren't going to the 9 a.m. showings. They're usually going to the ones past noon. And like if I go to anything,
Yeah.
like especially on the weekend, if I go anything past like 6 o'clock, like let's just say I go to the 5:30 showing, there's a bunch of people. They're on their phones the entire time. What really has upset me is I went to this 1:30 showing of this movie, and the entire theater was empty, but this big group of people decided to sit right next to us. And I'm like, you couldn't have, you know, sat in the row
You couldn't
behind
have
me.
used your phone? Yeah, you couldn't have used your phone outside of the theater where it's famously known to put away your phones. Come on, guys. Come on. What are we doing here? That's a
And like
fresh cut right
it's
there.
okay with laughing and like crying or whatever, but like the guy that was sitting next to me, I don't know if it was a guy or a gal, I don't remember. I just remember that I was annoyed, and that's my only memory of the movie. Unfortunately, is this every time they laugh, they go right into my ear
That
and they go
stinks.
like why in my ear?
Yeah. It's especially bad when there's like there's a movie that's a little more uh dubious and you don't know whether to like laugh or scream or whatever, and people have the exact wrong emotion for that for that for that scene that goes on, and that's more of a like a okay, that annoys me kind of deal. But sometimes in like a David Lynch film where people are like laugh at something that you're not supposed to laugh at, it can really get under your skin. So I do think there's a lot to be said about theater etiquette, but I'm not sure how to tackle that one yet. The other idea I have is title drops. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was putting my finger up for the counting.
Okay.
So
No, you're fine. You're fine. The other, let me redo that. The other idea that I've had for a gauge your interest is title drops. I think it's really fun to have your title in a movie, and you can play with different ways of presenting that title. And sometimes it really sneaks up on you, like The Departed. I believe the title drops about 30 minutes into the film. You're like, oh, I didn't realize I didn't see The Departed title drop yet. Or it could be like, it could be used as a joke, like, oh no, what are we gonna do? Do we have to go all the way to White Castle? And then Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. Something like that. So I think that's a fun,
like Invincible, where it's just like and then it does the title card.
Exactly. It's a fun way to play with the audience, and I think that's something really special about editing in general that is especially special to movies and TV, because when you're at like a stage play, you can't do a title drop right there, you know?
I mean, not with that attitude.
You know what? You're right. I'm limiting myself. I'm having my mind create these barriers that are non-existent. So
anything
that's on
is
me.
Possible
that's on me.
If you believe.
Exactly. Unless it's liking Paul, am I right?
Get that guy out of here.
Let me think if I have one other. I like rules of threes, so I'm like, do I have one other? Well, I was going to do video game acting. I think acting in video games is a terribly kind of underrated, underrepresented thing. But Video Game Donkey put out a video on that, and I'm like, well, not doing that anymore. So that's a canceled Gauge Your Interest right there. That's a little bit of inside scoop, a little bit of inside baseball.
You know, I know you're mainly covering like video essays and stuff, but I always wanted to do I don't know what I'm talking about. Rewind. My brain's not here right now. Rewind. Okay.
Yep.
Video game acting. That's the word I was looking for. There are some games that I think are like peak fiction because of the character, the actor that's carrying that character. The one that immediately jumps to mind, and I'm pretty sure you have not played this, but for anybody that has, Xenoblade 3, the main character, and it's a little bit of spoilers here, but I think it's the beginning of chapter 6 when it's revealed that his love interest switched bodies with another person, and he just gets devastated from that, and just the raw emotion that comes from this character is just like, I have never seen anything just go that hard, especially in a video game. And it gets memed all the time, at least within the Xenoblade community, but like, if you know what I'm talking about, you're going to be like, that scene goes so hard, but especially because the game just spent the last hour with a bunch of cutscenes of this character dying over and over and over again, watching his life play out. So you just get hit with that wave of emotion, and then this gets hit, and you're like, oh, dang, that peak fiction. But the character that portrayed this character did an excellent job.
Nice. And might I just say, just put a big spoiler on the screen if you can. But may I just say, just acting in general, I think a lot of people are afraid to overact nowadays. Not just in movies and televisions and video games, but on YouTube too. And I think that's kind of a tragedy, because a lot of our favorite scenes comes from people hamming it up and being larger than life. I think that's something that we've kind of lost in the past decade or two.
I took an acting class and when I was getting my bachelor's degree. It wasn't for my degree specifically, but I just took it for fun because I've been doing YouTube videos forever. Um, but pretty much the best advice that my professor gave me is more or less commit to the bit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, you're not going to change anyone's emotions if you're like, oh, this scene, I'm going to play it really subtle and I'm heartbroken, but I'm going to pretend not to. I mean, you can. That's an option to go. But I would argue something more memorable and more relatable is if your heart's broken, you cry. That's uncomfortable for a lot of people, but it's real. People cry over lost relationships, and I think it's very real. And I'm repeating myself, but
You're all good.
yeah, don't be afraid to overact. Don't be afraid to overact. And sometimes you might get goofed on, but you know what? That's the job. That's the job, Bucko.
I always lived by that motto of commit to the bit because there are some things. Because when I write, I kind of black out and forget what I wrote when it comes to filming.
Yeah.
And then I'm filming in this. And I'm like, why did I write this? And I'm like, well, commit to the bit.
Yeah. No, that happens to me all the time on my especially with these longer gauge your interest. I read something and I'm like, why did I write this? I have no memory of writing this at all. But I'm like, well, doing my best.
Past
I'll do
me
my
is
best,
just
I
like,
suppose.
he's gonna be so pissed when he sees this.
Oh my god. I get angry all the time at the past writer version of me because I just like write everything that interests me on the page. I'm like, God, this is too long. I will say for the next Gauge Your Interest, it is going to be the longest one that I've done yet. So that's something to look forward to.
Get your popcorn
That's
ready, gamers.
Get your popcorn ready. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
But continuing on the committing to the bit, a little bit of a spoiler for the film I'm currently been editing off and on. At the very end, there's a scene where I actually have to cry, and I made myself cry for it. And I'm like, that was a little bit uncomfortable, but I was just like, I committed to the bit. But the most common ones you'll see is my gaming hours, where I have some like really out there joke. And I'm like, I guess I'm going to commit to it. But the one that comes to mind is my Bloodborne video. I had a lot of like way too far jokes. I'm just like, I guess I'm going to commit to it.
Yeah, and kind of, and also the beauty of overacting is like there's a step in between showing it to people and the overacting. It's the editing process. So you could look at like a whole performance, and if it's not radiating as much as you'd like it to, you're like, well, maybe I could just do a silly voiceover right here or something.
It's okay to cut too. That's another thing as an editor. It's okay
Yeah,
to cut
people are
things.
afraid. People are afraid of like trimming stuff, but once again, editing, it distinguishes movies and televisions and podcasts from just talking to another human being or seeing a live show.
They say when you're making like specifically a movie or a show or a video that you basically you tell a story three times. Obviously, when you write the thing, and then when you film the thing, and then when you edit the thing. There are some instances where I know people have done re-edits of films and they've turned a comedy into a horror film or a horror film into a comedy just because of adding sound effects or changing lighting in post-production.
Yeah, it's there's a really, I'm sure it's been shown in every film class ever, but there's a very famous Alfred Hitchcock video where he's like, "Oh, this if I show an old man smiling on screen, you wouldn't think anything of it. But if this girl was in like a changing room and then I cut to the old man smiling, well, you'd think he was some sort of pervert, wouldn't you?" And I'm like, yeah, that's the magic of editing right there.
Well, let's go ahead and move on to the questions, because I got a few questions, and some of them I feel like you can probably just talk about for a little bit longer, because
Sure.
they are some thinkers. Especially this first one. I think I have four from the Discord, three or four from the my Discord server,
Hmm.
and two from YouTube. We'll go ahead and start with
Okay.
the Discord questions. The first one comes from Gia. They are both in mine and the
Hi, Gia.
Jax Films server. You know them. This one's going to be a thinker. What is your favorite
Okay,
movie?
I'm ready. My default answer is usually Army of Darkness, which is the third Evil Dead film. I'm seeing Evil Dead burn tomorrow. I'm so excited. Um, but that's a funny one because it's very much like a Three Stooges kind of comedy bit with some horror elements sprinkled in there, where Evil Dead is kind of known as being this horror franchise. And I know in my heart that Evil Dead 2 is the superior film, but I think I know, once again, goes back to knowing what's almost like subjectively best and what's your personal taste. Personal taste wise, it's Army of Darkness, but I love a lot of movies, and I think I am going to ponder this question a little bit more as soon as the camera stopped rolling. And I'm like, maybe I like Hot Fuzz a little better. But, that's art, man. It always fluctuates with the person. It always fluctuates with the times. But for now, I think my default answer is Army of Darkness.
I know you know this, but I figure I let the audience know if they didn't watch the Film Guy Max interview. But my favorite film of all time is Speed Racer, and that one has not changed since I watched it back in 2008 in theaters.
Nice, nice. I actually went to a friend's house and I saw a steel book of it recently, and I'm like, oh man, I should ask if I should borrow that, but I forgot. I have Speed Racer on DVD though.
It's a good film, and if you haven't watched it, what are you doing? Go watch it, and then go watch Army of Darkness too, because they're both great films.
I would say watch Evil Dead 2 first. So
Oh yeah,
unfortunately, we're
obviously.
giving you a we're giving you a 3 film deal. Evil Dead 2 is also interesting because you don't have to see the first one. They kind of remake the first Evil Dead in the first half an hour of Evil Dead 2 because they didn't have the rights to Evil Dead and they couldn't show that archive footage beforehand. So they just kind of retold the whole story of Evil Dead 1 in Evil Dead 2. Anyways, Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, Speed Racer, all a hoot and a holler. I tell you what.
This one's going to be a very niche question, but this guy usually asks this question on most of my podcast.
Sure.
You consider yourself a gamer, right?
Yeah, I played a video game or two, yeah.
Well, have you played the hit series Churro Q?
I have not.
Well, that's what their question is will you play Churro Q?
Sure, yeah, why not? Is it accessible on modern platforms? Do you know?
Mainly it has its roots on the PS2. That's where the good ones are at, but there are some on the PS1 and older titles. The most recent
Okay.
release was on the Wii, to give you an idea. It's an older series,
Oh,
but
gotcha.
my recommendation to anyone watching this and to you, Gage, is play the game Road Trip on the PS2. It's also known as Road Trip Adventure in Europe and Churro Q HD2 in Japan, but it's called Road Trip here in the States. So go play that game. It's imagine an RPG, like a JRPG, but instead of battling, you're racing because you're a car. That's a sentient car.
Cool. Yeah, no, I'll check that out. If it's if I can, I have a PlayStation 5. If I can access it on there, I'll do my darndest to try to hunt it down.
It is sadly not on the PlayStation Store.
Can I just say it is
Just emulate it. It's
we're
fine.
coming off the news. I know it's fine. I know it's fine. I'm rambling about something else. Can I just say it is frustrating, some of this video game preservation crap that has been coming out recently, because I can play most games on a modern platform. If I have like a Switch 2, if I have like a PlayStation 5, if I have a PC, great. I can play anything. But there are a couple of games that are just like lost to time, and really good games too, not just like hidden gems. Just like Beautiful Joe, great game. Metal Gear Solid 3, well, they're recently porting that to PS5, but for the longest time, Metal Gear Solid 4. I said Metal Gear Solid 3. But Metal Gear Solid 4, for the longest time, it was stuck on PlayStation 3. So game preservation needs to kind of up its game a little bit, in my humble opinion. And Sony did the right move by taking away physical discs. I think that will help greatly with video game preservation. Wait, sorry. No, I meant the opposite.
Oh.
No.
You know, I want to jump into this real quick. And I know we're in the question segment, but
I know this is like a goof question.
I know you're watching this. I know you're watching this video. PlayStation. What the hell?
Yeah, PlayStation. Yeah, what the HE double hockey sticks?
I have a backwards compatible PS3, so I can play PS1, 2, and 3 games, and then I have a PS5, so I can play PS4 and PS5 games. And you're gonna tell me the PS6 is not gonna have discs? You know what you did, Sony? If you said the PS5, PS6 for all games are going to be digital, that's fine, whatever. But put a disc drive on there and say it's backwards compatible with every PlayStation, I would totally buy it.
That sounds very, very expensive.
I don't care.
But it's possible. It's possible.
But
I don't think it will happen.
They're not going to do that.
No. They're
going
to capitalize on their digital monopoly. Those darn people at Sony.
That's fine. I'll just continue being the PC and Nintendo gamer I've always been. That's fine with me.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. So, in conclusion, I would love to play that video game if it were accessible to me easily.
Well, here's the best thing about this, Gage, and random viewer that's watching this, is I have a ChurroQ playlist on my channel. I'm pretty sure a card just popped up if you ever want to check those out, because I played a few of the ChurroQ games.
Okay. ChurroQ. All right. Playing ChurroQ on
but let's
the
go to the
Watersurf
next
channel.
question.
We spent too long on this like silly goof question. Not to bring down your question, but it is very, very niche.
But yes, you know, just again, side tangent again. The only time this game was re-released was on the PS3 digital store, but only in Europe. Why can't you guys release it again? Come on, guys.
I
It's
guess
free money.
Sony just hates the gamers. That's the
want you
only
to play the
conclusion
new
I can draw.
games.
I have this whole thing about. I'm not going to bring it over here, but I have this whole thing about Red Dead Redemption 2 and how I got the deluxe edition at Target, and it has like a whole map of the world you get to explore. I won't pull it up just now, but like, man, we really lost we lost some gold somewhere in our hustle to get more money. We lost some gold in there. We lost something special.
But you know what is special? This next question comes from someone that's a frequent asker on the podcast. They're also a lurker in the Jacksfilm server, but I mainly see them in my server and Yap Emporium server. But this is from Toaster Hunter Boy XX. It's just Toast. His name's Toast.
Catchy name.
I don't know if I can ask this type of question here, but here it goes. How do you stay motivated to keep creating awesome videos when you don't get recognition you deserve?
Great question. Fantastic question. And kind of the cold truth of it is sometimes I don't have that motivation. Sometimes I'm just like, hey, some people are making millions with like a slime video or whatever. They're doing stupid reactions of stuff that they did not make. And that is very demotivating. But just to bring it back to what we were talking about earlier, the whole process of making a video is beautiful. You get to write something out of nothing, and you get to act on set with your friends, and you get to edit that into something malleable, and I think that's really special. So I know I'm talking around the question a lot, but staying motivated is having people in your life and having other artists that inspire you to bring you up from that and encouraging you to make the best possible form of entertainment that you can. It just boils down to people for me at the end of the day. That creative process, those people that help you out, that's what it's all about, baby.
You and me have the same sentiment that I'm not making videos for you. I'm making them for me. I'm enjoying this, and if you don't enjoy it, then get the frick out of here.
Yeah, I think, and yeah, overall, of course, video making brings me joy. Creation brings me joy. But I'd like to say that the numbers don't matter at all, but it does really affect you when you see, no offense to anyone who makes these videos, total crap on the internet, and it just goes crazy viral for one reason or the other. It can be very demotivating, and you put out something that you really love and you're really passionate about, and it gets like 2 views, that does affect your mental health. It does. So it is important to keep motivated and to talk to creators like you, Watersurf. It's important to pick other creatives' brains. It's important to know the process and why you're doing it. Yeah, no, it's tough to stay motivated. But we do it. We do it because we love the game.
Yeah, you know, my most recent gaming hour that I just put out yesterday, as of recording this, I think it's like at 50-ish views right now. I'm like, oh, that's kind of a bummer. And I'm like, oh well, at least some people got to enjoy it.
It's a longer video too, correct?
No, it's only 12 minutes.
Only 12. Okay.
Hey, my last gaming hour was over an hour, and that one got like 300 views.
That might be the one I was thinking of. It does take a lot out of you mentally to put something that you're so passionate about out there and have people be like, eh. But you know,
I saw the upside of this, as if this is the lowest viewed one in the series, because my other one's on the game Apocalypse for the PS1. That was always my standard of like, if it does better than this, then I'm happy. But now I have lowered the bar for myself.
New bar came into town, baby.
Yeah. If this does better than my Pokemon Dash video, yeah.
I actually have been wanting to see the Pokemon Dash video because I remember that game, but I never picked it up. I will watch that video after this. I'll get you to 51 views, buddy.
It's not a good game.
It doesn't really matter. For me, it never really mattered the subject of the video. It's just the passion that people have for that topic really shines through in that video. Or not that video in particular, but
just in general.
Like, I know nothing about Banjo-Kazooie or whatever, but if someone rants about it for 20 minutes and they have all this history and personal experience with it, that is a that's a video well worth sitting through, for sure. That's how I view it. But I'm sure Pokemon Dash is a garbage game.
I feel like there's always that one video that captures the average viewer, but some of those average viewers, they'll trickle into your other videos, and they'll be like, "Oh, I don't give a hoot about, let's just say, my Choro Q videos. Like, I don't care about those." But they don't care about the game. But they're like, the person that's presenting the subject matter is entertaining enough for me to be like, "Oh, okay, those are cool games, but they're not for me. But you did an excellent job explaining those." And I was watching some of your other videos. I'm like, personally, I'm not really into like some of the topics you're talking about. I'm like, I've never watched
Name a
Fraggle.
topic,
I'm sorry.
Watersurf. Name
I'm
a
sorry.
topic.
I'm sorry. I've never really watched Fraggle Rock. I think I watched like 1 or 2 episodes.
That's okay. That's
But
okay.
the way you presented it, I was just like, you know what? I will sit through your 16-minute video.
Yeah. You sat through a whole musical number at the end. That is commitment, my friend. I appreciate that.
So that's what's important to me as a creator. At the end of the day, is if one person enjoys my video, then I feel like that's a success in my book.
And that person could be yourself at the end of the day. If
Exactly.
you enjoyed your video, it's worth making.
I enjoyed making it.
Yeah, there you go. That's that positive mentality we love so much.
And you can also tell when a creator's not having fun with a video. You can really tell. They're like, oh, they hate this.
Yeah, they're just slogging through it like
Every ad read.
not Yeah. It's I don't want to name any particular names, but like a lot of toy channels, when every day is Christmas for them, they're just like, I got a new gun or toy gun this Christmas.
Look what I got. I got this cap for my camera lens. Wow.
Oh my god. It's
I got this.
That's why it's
this
important.
Remote. Wow.
You can play a lot of Watersurf videos with that remote. Wow.
I'm gonna switch over to Gage videos. Those are better.
No. This is the Watersurf channel. We watch Watersurf videos here.
But did you know that this is also linked up with your channel, so your viewers are watching this as well?
Oh shoot. Okay, we gotta talk after this because I gotta reevaluate my whole strategy. Yeah. All right. Well, next question.
Okay. This one's from Scout. You know Scout.
Yep, I am familiar with Scout.
Well, Scout, they asked the important question. Gage, are you a Muppet of a man or a very manly Muppet?
By the way, this song in Los Angeles bars kills at karaoke. People love to hear this song. So I would say I'm a Muppet of a man because I have that Muppet mentality to me where everything is goofy and fun. Everything is great. Everything is grand. I got the whole wide world in the palm of my hand. That's me. I have that very optimistic mentality to me. And also, I think, I know this isn't the question, but what's interesting to me about that song is I believe there's a Muppet inside all of us. And we have to decide whether to chase that whimsy, chase that chaos, that good creative chaos, I should say. Or should we be a person or a human and stay the course of reality? That's how I've always interpreted the song. And I don't think there's a right answer for human or Muppet. It's just whatever floats your boat. Whatever floats your boat. I think there's something beautiful about being a Muppet, and there's something beautiful about being a man.
Very well
Sorry,
said.
that was not the question at all. But I have opinions on that song because I like it so much.
And the important thing with the Muppets is that they're really cool. Oh, I'm sorry.
I think I prefer Sesame Street.
Sesame Street's much better.
For me, Sesame Street, Fraggle Rock, and the Muppets are all under the Muppets umbrella, but I digress.
You know, I'm more of a what is that movie? Dark Crystal. I'm more of a Dark Crystal.
Dark
fan.
Crystal, maybe more of a Labyrinth fellow.
Yeah.
Dance, magic dance. That's David Bowie.
All right, we're on to the last 2 questions. These are from YouTube.
YouTube.com.
This one comes from The Real Famimation.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm familiar with them. Hello.
Why puppets?
I didn't want to look at these questions beforehand, but this one did catch my eye as I was kind of scrolling through my feed. So I had some time to think about this. And the answer to why does it say why puppets or why Muppets?
Why puppets? I'm assuming they're
Why
asking about the puppets in
puppets?
your videos.
I'm not familiar. What are they referring to? I have no idea. No. Why puppets? For me, it was such an important part of me growing up is being taught by like Sesame Street or Fraggle Rock about world peace or the Muppets about like creative chaos. It just makes sense for me and my personality. But also, it was kind of fate because I met the person who made and mainly puppeteers the Gage puppet. Her name is Rachel. I met her at a concert and we became really good friends. And I didn't know that she was she was a puppet maker, and I think it awakened something inside me to be like, oh, I love puppets. People instantly something flips in their brain. They're like a kid again when you see a puppet. They're like, ah, puppets. It's something really, really special. Exactly. They pog at the puppets. It's something really, really special. And by the way, it was not cheap to develop the Gage puppet. It takes a lot of physical labor and a lot of creative back and forth. But it's a little bit of fate and it's a little bit of childhood whimsy that I'm holding on to. That's the long answer to why puppets. I guess the short answer is why not? Puppets are awesome.
Speaking of puppets, did you know that I've used two puppets in my videos? One of them was featured in the Pokemon Dash video. I had a little Marstop puppet.
Ooh. And what's the other one?
The other one is a Piranha Plant puppet that I used in my second feature film, The Hero's Space Adventure. But I'm not going to tell you what he does because it would ruin one of the greatest jokes I've ever made.
Hopefully he's not a mean green mother from outer space and is bad.
The Piranha Plant's bad, but the Marstop just makes witty jokes.
Oh, okay. Have you seen Little Shop of Horrors?
I have not, but it's on my to watch list.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know.
Gotta see Little Shop of Horror. That's another one of my favorite movies ever. Because it was directed by Frank Oz. If you're unfamiliar with Frank Oz, he is the original voice of Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear, basically partner in crime to Jim Henson. Really, really funny guy. And he had this huge plant puppet for this musical. So it's a puppet musical, and it has a very big horror and comedy vibe to it, and I love it. Please watch Little Shop of Horror. Please.
I have it on Blu-ray. It's just in my like to watch list.
Watch it tonight. Why not?
Probably.
Put on the director's cut. Do it. And ping me about it. Say I hate this or I love it.
I'm gonna message you at 3 a.m. tonight and be like, that was one of the blank movies I've ever seen.
Great. I'm looking forward to. I'm actually going out tonight, so I'll be up a little past my bedtime. And also my Discord notifications are just off on my phone. So ping me anytime, man. I don't mind.
He'll get to it when he gets to it. He's got to respond to me in like a month. He'll be like, "Oh, you watched it. Good job."
No, I am so passionate about that movie. I love that movie from beginning to end. It's a great one.
If it makes you feel any better, my wife has seen it and she told me to watch it as well. So you're not the first person.
I wouldn't watch it with your kid, but
I wasn't gonna watch it with my kid.
Oh, okay. Fair. Yeah, just fair warning. It is a Little Shop of Horrors, so there's some spooky stuff in there. Ooh.
We have one more question from Radiated Platypus, but they specifically asked to use it at the end of the video. So we're gonna go ahead and move into The part of the podcast where you give your final thoughts, opinions, life view of the world, whatever you want to talk about. If you want to just talk about socks for the next 6 minutes, that's cool too.
It's crazy because I have these socks. No, we already showed the Spyro socks. Yeah, I guess my final thoughts is if you're thinking of making something, start today. Why not get to it? It might not be out tomorrow. It might not be out next week, but creating something that you're really passionate about and something that you really love is infinitely more meaningful than anything that AI can produce. So make your creative stuff now. That's my big that's my big grandstanding moment. Make creative stuff now because I think the world needs it more than ever.
I said this in my recent video essay, that one on AI psychosis, but I was just like, if you have a little rinky dinky camcorder and it sucks and it looks like it's from the 1980s, that's fine. It doesn't matter what you have. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just go out there and make it, man. If you want to record yourself playing a video game, just do it. If you want to sit in front of a camera and yap about why those Spyro socks are probably the best thing ever in your life, do it.
Okay, hang on real quick. I need to pull up a piece of art to emphasize my point.
All right. What's this piece of art you got?
This piece of art is called The Greatest Showman. It was made by my friend Alex for my 27th birthday. And it is my favorite piece of art ever. Here it is now.
Whoa. That's pretty epic.
That's The Greatest Showman right there. The Great Gonzo. And I'm going to have this on screen for a while I talk about this to emphasize my point. A human did this. Excuse me. One more time. A human did this. And they had the idea. They bought the materials for this. They painted it. They gave me a nice note on the back. And I think this piece of art, this goofy-ass Gonzo the Great, means more to me than any digital slop that I have seen in my life. I would take one of these over 1,000 soulless creations. So make your art now. It could look like this, but you might find someone that really loves it.
To piggyback off of that is that a lot of people don't understand what goes into making art, whether it be paintings, drawings, videos, just anything that's made by us as a person or us as a team of people. Like stuff that people don't think about when we're making videos is setting up the camera, writing the scripts, setting up the green screen in my case usually, setting up lights, setting up attaching microphones. All they see is the final product. And yeah, the final product might look great, it might look crappy, it might look just okay. But the thing that's important is that somebody took the time out of their day to make something with their bare hands, or with a computer mouse in our digital artist case, or a style, what's it called? A drawing tablet. You know what I mean? It's just the little things that people don't think about when it comes to making art. It's just the little things.
Yeah. I think a lot of it has to do with not viewing movies or television shows or even franchises as individual pieces of art, but more as like content nowadays. People just want stuff and they want stuff now. And it can be, people forget that there's human motivation and human emotion behind it. So it's important to kind of refocus yourself whenever you're reading a book or watching a movie, to be like, hey, there's a whole human being behind this, more likely a team of people behind this. They want to say something with this entertainment, and I should really listen. Please listen. That's my other final thought. Please listen.
Well, we'll go ahead and wrap up this interview unless there's one more thing you got to say.
Nah.
All right. Well, as always, gamers and non-gamers, we're at the end of the podcast. Right over here is going to be one of Gage's playlists, probably the Gauge Your Interest playlist. Right
Yeah,
down
put that
here
sucker up.
is going to be probably one of his videos that he recommended, like the retcon one, for example. I don't know which one's going to be there. We'll see. Over here is going to be Gage's channel, and then right here are the other podcast episodes if you want to give them a listen. And our last question of the day is something for the viewer, is, or I guess us in general, is how do we gauge our interest in you beyond this interview? Thank you, Radiated Platypus.
How do you gauge your interest? Well, if something makes you happy, fucking... Excuse me, I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss. If something makes you happy, just pursue that feeling and keep chasing it, baby.
Well, audience,
that's the beginning and end of that.
That's it for now. Go out there and gauge your own interests. Okay, bye.
See you tomorrow, or in another video. Bye.